Hello, everyone. This is Miss J from the whole program, and I hope that all is well with you. So, today we are going to be talking about the hotel industry. Specifically, we're going to be talking about accommodations. What is that? What does that look like? So, let's begin. So I want you to know that there are three forms of accommodations within the hospitality industry. And if this is an industry in which you want to work or one that you want to continue working in, then you must be clear about what an accommodation looks like. So we're going to be talking about all three today. So the first one is in the hotel industry, we're talking about property. So you're talking about the property accommodations. What is the guest going to experience? What is it that they were attracted to in the first place? The reason why they made a reservation at your location. So I want to just make sure that we are really clear. You would have seen this in previous videos, but I just want to be clear about the star power and about the accommodations. So we have a star one, so that we are going to assume that it is international travelers who are traveling. We are going to assume that it's going to be people who really don't want to spend a lot of money on a room, but would rather experience the local attractions. So we have star one. Star two is definitely a step up from the star one. We have better looking accommodations as well. Star three means that that person is going to be spending a little bit money, that it is important to them about where they're going to lay their head. It is important to them about what the property accommodations are, as we can see. And when we're talking about the fourth star, that is the next step up. We're definitely talking about attractiveness to the eye. It is pleasing. And we know that you have or will, your guests will be spending money at this location, because the better the location, the better the property, the more money you're going to be spending, and also better accommodations. So a person that would stay in a five-star, that they will be spending a large amount of money for the accommodations that the hotel can. We're talking about branding as well. We're talking about the value of what the guest is going to get and what you are going to provide as an employee to anyone who is staying at this type of hotel. And the accommodations, definitely five-star, basically of expensive experience for your guests, and that what you will be providing. So the second form of accommodations in the hospitality industry is in the form of amenities. What else are they going to get? What are you going to give them? And it is your responsibility to exceed their expectations wherever and whenever possible. So, what are amenities? So, we are going to be clear in this video as to what that looks like. So, amenities can be where the bar is. Is it on the floor, in the lobby? Is it on another floor? Is it a block away? Is it on the blocks? But this is an amenity, this is an attraction for your guests. The dining experience, you may just have a coffee shop in the facility, or next door or down the block, or you may have a 4 or 5 star type of dining experience for your guests. This is part of the attraction that you're going to be providing to your guests and what they're interested in. Culinary, definitely when we're talking about food, it is very, very important. For some people, a cheeseburger and french fries is important. To other people, filet mignon. okay, or lobster would be important. But whatever that is, it is going to be important that your guests receive excellent service. So, what are the guests? There are some hotels that provide like a little care package for the guests when they come and they receive that care package. Sometimes can be a bowl of fruit. It can be different kind of candies or cookies. Some restaurants, I mean, some hotels do that, and actually restaurants as well. Restaurant within the local facility could offer that to hotel guests. Themed experience. What is a theme? Um, for some, it's romantic. For some, it's country. For some, it's a little bit more modern. Different tastes for different people. So the theme is important as well. The lounge area. So if I don't want to spend time in my room, where else can I go on the premises? Where can I go and relax? So that would be important. And the lounge area is usually in the receiving area, in the reception area. So when I walk in, what is the atmosphere that your hotel is providing? Fitness center is very important to some people. Um, Most hotels have state of the art. They have what is very popular that is out there that would be important to your guests. And if it's important to your guests, then it's going to be important to you. Recreation is another attraction. It is considered an amenity. So it could be anything from like hiking, golfing, horseback riding, bike trails, things of that nature. Parking? Is there a secure place for the cars to be staying as well? That's very important. That is a concern for many travelers. Do I have to park on the street? Do I have to go and find and circle and search for a garage? These things are important. A spa. That's important. What kind of service is the person going to be getting? What is the array of different massages and options are there for your guests? That changes per hotel, that changes regarding the star power. The reception area. How am I being received? What is the professionalism I'm going to be received? What is it that I am going to see? What is the welcoming area? We mentioned that before regarding the lounge. Usually that the lounge is connected to the lobby area, but not necessarily so. Lobby can be off to the side someplace as well. So how are you receiving me? Are you looking out for me? Do I have your attention the moment that I put foot onto your property? Room service. Some hotels have room service and some do not. Some you have to get Grubhub, which is the one that is the most popular right now regarding delivery. Are there fast food restaurants that are in the area that will deliver food to the hotel? This is information that is going to be important to some of your guests. What are the services? Can I order food? Will your restaurant stay open? Is there a limited edition, but one that is available so that I can get room service? Can I get food? If I'm hungry 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, will you service me? That is important to people. For some, especially for those people who are traveling with children in particular, this may be an important amenity. Is there a washer and a dryer for someone who is going for a special occasion when traveling and they need maybe a suit or a special occasion dress to be ironed? Is that readily available? Is that an issue? That is important to some of your guests. And if it's important to some of your guests, it's important to you. So again, we're talking about the star power because you must be aware of that because the star power also dictates the amenities, it dictates the property, and it dictates the kind of service that you're going to be provided. So I believe that in this part of the video, I gave examples of the pool area. So this is star one, and this is star power number two. Star power number three, we see the difference between one and three. Definitely, we're looking at a pool area that's more welcoming, more warm, more attractive, more luxurious. Four, we're looking at something that is definitely something wonderful to experience and something a little bit out of the ordinary if we're talking about the star powers one through three. And this is a palace looking area for your pool. So according to the accommodations, there is a certain level of expectations on behalf of your guests. And so we're talking about what other amenities. So definitely, we already know that food and breakfast and what have you is very important to a lot of travelers. At least your hotel will provide one meal per day that is included in the stay, or maybe a very small fee for something additional, but nothing exorbitant, nothing really expensive that will be added to the bill already. And so we have Star Power 2. You get a little bit more than you do in number one, longer and larger spread. Here, there's a nice seating area. Also, there's a culinary staff that is available to assist as well so that I can order some things, which is different from one and two. Star Power 4, there is someone to service me. There are specialties like what you see right here, special little service. And then we have 5, and we know that 5 is going to be a little bit more, um, uh, more featured, more detailed, a little bit more extraordinary than 1, 2, 3, and 4. We know that 5 is like the top tier of what you will be provided in the hotel. And so we're talking still about amenities. These are the concerns of your guests. And if it's the concern of your guests, then it's going to be a concern for you. So here we're talking about the toiletries. Star Power 2, an example of Star Power 3, Star Power 4. Definitely see a change in the presentation of the items, the size of the items. That is definitely different. And of course, Star Power 5. We have some red roses. We have a vase that is there. We have some other items about how nicely placed they are. We have a box that is there with additional goodies. And so we are still talking about accommodations. We're talking about what happens in the hotel industry. This is information that you need to know. It's going to be useful for you and to you. You're going to have to talk about some of these things when you go for a job interview. Know the business, and that's what we're doing. We're learning the business. So, the third and the last form of accommodations in the hospitality industry, I'm going to lead in with this quote by Maya Angelou. And she says, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So, when we're talking about accommodations, it is how did the guests feel while they were on your property, and more importantly, while they were in your presence, the presence of the employees. So we are talking about what is being offered through the employees, through the staff, through the human beings that is running the business. And I'm going to call it the touch point. The employees, the staff, it is the touch point. You are touching the experience, you're touching the person, you're touching the memory of the guest that is staying on your property. We're talking about you as an employee. So we're going to talk about now, I believe, which is the most important part of the three components. So we're going to talk about how you as an employee should operate at a hotel. I want you to know that the level of the responsibility and the service is totally different from any other industry. So we are talking if the guest is booking their reservations online, that is the first contact. How is that website? Is it easy to maneuver around? Is it easy? Do you have access to the information? Can you find it quickly? Is it understandable? Okay, so that is the first contact for your guests when they are online, and then that matters. So if they run into difficulty while they're online, is there online assistance? Is that 1-800 number or that 888 number, is it visible? Do I have to search for it? Is it small? Do I have to go through 10 apps before I find it, or is it right there on every screen, so at any time that I run into trouble, that I know that I am able to call and that I can get customer support? That is so important. That is definitely important when we're talking about our senior citizens as well. Our senior citizens will pick up the phone to make a reservation. They will not go online unless they are computer savvy, unless maybe they have a child or a grandchild who is there to support them. But otherwise than that, they're going to pick up that phone and call. So is there an accommodation for that? And so you, as the agent or as the contact, we have to talk about what kind of service should you be providing. You should be polite and be respectful of whoever is on that line who is needing your assistance. You should be solution driven, whatever the issue is, because the issue could be that the website doesn't work or work properly, or it was not easy for the person that was on the site. So then that means that you are going to have to be a problem solver, and you are going to have to make these reservations on behalf of that person and ask them a series of questions in order for you to be able to reach that objective of securing that room and any other special needs that they may have. For example, they may be in a wheelchair. Okay, so then your responsibility is going to make sure that the locality where they are going, that it is wheelchair accessible. So you have to be an excellent listener so that you can pick up on certain things, right? Allergies, for example, if they have children, for example, if they have senior citizens, you need to hear, you need to know, find out who is going to be serviced at that location that you're making reservations for, to make sure that it matches and will meet what their needs are. And you definitely have to have people skills, because you have to be able to maneuver, and be able to talk to that person so they can give you the information that you need so that you'll be able to service them. So from the moment that they put their foot on the property, when the guests arrive, what is the contact? Do you have to look for someone? Do you have to call someone? Or are they right there outside at the door waiting to assist you? Where is the contact? Where are the employees? So is there a warm greeting? Do they act like that they are happy to see you, to see the guest, right? Are they happy that you are there? Are they ready to serve? Do they ask you to wait 1 minute and then they're gone 20? 30 minutes, right? Are they right there ready to provide whatever you need? Maybe you just need directions or instructions someplace. Okay, are they ready to service you in that way? Maybe you're trying to meet someone or get to a conference room very quickly. Are they ready to serve you? Or do they have the information that you need that is ready to serve? Are they efficient? Do they know how to pile up your luggage properly on the pulley? Okay. Do they understand that this is a hat box and a hat box can't be at the bottom? Do they understand that? Do they understand that maybe there's a cat that is in that bag right there? And don't lose that. That's very important. Now, are they paying attention? Are they paying attention to details? Do they understand how to do their job? That is the question. If they have hanging items, and then if you have boxes and what have you, which one do you take out first? That would be very important information. Do they have to do two trips instead of one? Do they have to get two pulleys instead of one? One for the boxes and one for my hanging clothing? Or are they going to try to do this in one trip and just push everything on there? This matters. That is called being efficient. So, the main accommodation that most people are looking for, they want to know, what does the room look like? What is the bedding that looks like? What is in the room? What is being offered to us? It is the experience of you sleeping, and the experience of the space that you have there, the desk, from the television to the bathroom to the shower, everything from the comfortable chairs, everything from what am I going to view? Am I going to view a skyline, or am I going to view a parking lot? This is important to people who are spending money at your site. It is your responsibility to give them the best experience that you can give them, right? And then every opportunity, wherever possible, that you go above and beyond what their expectations are. For example, maybe you found out as you were preparing this room that the people in this room is a family and they have three small little children. Right. So a special going above and beyond would maybe be having a stuffed animal in the room, or maybe some crayons and the coloring book, or maybe little hand games to keep them occupied for the parents. That would be something to go above and beyond Call of Duty. So on this contact that we're having at the front desk, you always have to be smiling. As a matter of fact, every employee always need to be smiling, because smiling is warm and welcoming. Be patient and be very calm. Some people have had a very stressful trip. A whole lot of things have happened. You don't even know why they are there. They could be coming from for a wedding, and weddings are very stressful. They could be coming there for a funeral. Okay, that's very sad and that's very stressful as well. They could be coming to your hotel because there is a work conference. Okay, so there's so many different things that can be going on in a backdrop, and so these things can frustrate people and have them be upset. And then if they're frustrated and upset, then you know what's going to happen. You're going to feel it in your interaction with them. Okay. So, but you have to have a great attitude. You have to be understanding of that other person about what it is that they have gone through. Whether or not you know the details is not the issue. Obviously, if you're looking at someone that's very upset and frustrated, something happened to them. So you are not to add to what their frustrations are. So again, we're talking about anticipate the guest's needs. Okay, if you have information about the reason why that they're there on your site, do something extra special for them. So, when you are in this business, definitely your face and your posture, your body language is going to be crucial, and it will dictate your success or not. So, especially in difficult situations, definitely when mistakes have been made by your hotel, or even by the guests, eat by visitors who wasn't even supposed to be on the property, whatever, and whoever they are, vendors. okay, whatever and whoever they are, construction crew, a whole lot of things go on. But your responsibility is to control your emotions and maintain your posture. So control those emotions, all right? Have an upbeat and positive demeanor no matter what is going on and what is being said to you. As difficult as that may be, and as difficult as that may sound, that is what is expected from a professional. So the concierge, we've talked about concierge that we have talked about before, is very important to the hotel. They're almost like a personal assistant. They are very clear and very qualified on what they can do administratively for the guests. And by the way, there is a union that a lot of concierge belongs to as well. So we're talking about very serious industry, very serious part to the hotel business. So a concierge is responsible for maybe personalization of event planning. They are to handle the elite and the VIPs and to just make sure that everything is taken care of, the extra details is taken care of. Part of their responsibility may be to make sure that there's a limo that is available when the guest is getting ready to leave. Maybe it could have some star power and entertainment, and maybe security is needed to be secured while they're there on the property, especially if there's a lot of guests who's running up to them and interrupting, what have you. This is an extra a resource that may have to be looked at or secured by your hotel. Okay, so the concierge is the guest manager that can manage anything and everything and every interaction that happens with particular guests when they're secured prior to their arrival and upon their arrival. So special needs, um, that's who takes care of it. So again, we're talking about the room, but this time we're talking about who is servicing the room. Before we talked about the experience of the room, now we're talking about who is servicing the room, the staff. So if this is you, you must be flexible, but that's flexible in any aspect on any job. Regarding the hotel. So you have to be flexible regarding what your hours are and regarding what your duties are, and be ready to switch without any issues, without any complaints, without any hesitations, that you'll be able to drop what you're doing to go and do something else when called upon. Have to be detail oriented. Pay attention to everything that is in a room. You may have to find jewelry for people, return jewelry to people. You may have to do some extra cleaning in that room because they came with children. Okay, so these are the things that you are expected to do. Make sure that every single solitary thing that's in the room that's supposed to be touched is touched. And also, there are some guests who don't want you to touch different things. They may leave a note for you. Your responsibility is to read the note and honor what their requests are. So we you definitely have to be a hard worker. In any industry, you have to be a hard worker. But it just in the hotel hospitality, it just goes up a couple of notches. Okay. So you definitely got to be a hard worker. Definitely have to be quick, okay? And definitely have to work under pressure. You may have to clean a room quicker. You may have to stop cleaning one room to go clean another room. A whole lot of things can happen. But your responsibility in the backdrop is to make sure that the experience of your guests is a wonderful one and a smooth one. And also, you have to have customer service. You have to be customer service oriented. So that means that you may have to stop what you're doing to talk to a guest, to direct them to another location in the building where the pool is. You may have to walk them to the pool. That may be your responsibility. If they don't understand what you're saying and the directions that you're giving them, you may have to stop cleaning that room to go and take them to the pool. So there is customer service. Also, there are some hotels that require that their housekeepers, that whenever there is a guest on the floor, that you speak to them, that you have to stop what you're doing, look up to them and greet them. Okay. So you're not invisible. Okay. So you have to speak to the guests. And that is normal practice in the hotel industry. So again, we're still talking about service. We're talking about accommodations. We understand that service is the most important piece of the hotel industry. We understand about the property. We understand about the amenities, but we understand that the people that provides this, that they have to be ready and they have to be prepared, and that you are committed to excellence, going above and beyond, finding things to take care of that needs to be taken care of before you are asked to take care of them. Look to seek the approval of the guests to make them happy with not only the accommodations that the hotel already give them, but the extra special touch, the point touch. So, just some information that I think is important to you regarding accommodation. So, it all falls in. But I just want to give you just one more example about the level of services. So, I'm going to do with place setting, right? Okay, so here we have basic place setting. Everybody understands that: fork, knife, cup. Okay, we're really good. Everybody understands that. There are some hotels, this is the level that you provide. Then there are other hotels where this is the level that you provide. There's more place settings that is here. Okay, so this is more formal. Okay, there are more things there. All right, so then that means that the expectation from the first set with just a knife and a fork is going to be totally different from the formal guest, right? Okay, so then we have an additional formal. So there's another setting where there are more place settings that is on this table, much more hardware that is on this table. And each one of these items that are on here, that they all serve a purpose. So if someone is dining, right, and they're sitting at a table like this, you can imagine the kind of food that is getting ready to be served, right? It won't be a cheeseburger and and some French fries, right? So you would need to know that. As a matter of fact, as an employee, you may be responsible for setting this table and understanding the difference of the settings. How about that? And so this is called a full course table setting. And you may find this at certain hotels for special occasions in their dining area, even in their conference area for a dinner, for a wedding, for a special occasion. And you may be responsible for setting this table. So that means that you would be responsible for knowing what goes where and for what purpose that it goes there, right? And so, and then it also gives you a certain expectation, right, as to the caliber of guests that may be coming to this event if you see a setting like that. Makes sense, right? So I want you to know that I actually experienced an occasion like this where I had a personal waiter. All right, I went to a restaurant in Manhattan. It was called On Top of the Sixes, and it was reservation only kind of place. And I want you to know that when I was sitting there, that the person that was taking care of my table stood by me the whole entire time. That they were not the one to go and bring the food. We had service to come and bring the food. We had busters who came to clean away food and crumbs that was on the table. And my waiter would direct everyone about when it was time for them to come over to the table to take care of something. Okay. And my waiter also helped me to understand which fork was what, which knife was for what, Which spoon was for what? Because I didn't know. And so, one of the things that I did not know, just a personal story, one thing that I did not know was when I had this 11 course meal, I believe that this lemon sherbet hit the table, right? So, I believe that at that time I had the bread, I had the soup, and I had something else. And so, then after I finished that, oh, yeah, salad. That's what it was. It was salad. Then a waiter brought over this little uh, jewelry looking bowl, just like this one, with a scoop, just like this, of the lemon sherbet. And I'm going, I haven't eaten my main course. Okay. Why is this there? And I didn't know. And so I looked at my waiter who bent down to whisper in my ear and told me that the lemon sherbet was to remove the taste of the other items that I had just had from my mouth. It was to clean my palate so that I would be able to fully enjoy um, the main course. I didn't know this, right? But this information was provided to me in this experience, right? So it's something that I learned. So this is the kind of experience and exposure that you will have in the hotel industry. So, here are some top qualities that you should have in order for you to be successful in this industry. You should also be aware of culture awareness. It is very necessity that you understand this so that you are able to communicate with other people from different countries and then understand their culture differences. So, for example, if you had a Japanese delegation, you will find that the women walked one stride behind the men, that they did not walk in front of the men, they do not walk beside the men, but they walked one stride, one step behind the men. You would need to know that. So why would you need to know that? Well, for one example, if uh, if they approach you, you do not talk to the woman, you talk to the man. You see? So that's information that you would need to know. Okay, so you have to have the ability to multitask, do more than one thing, and then follow through, finish what you started, and then do what you say. If you tell a guest that you'll be back in 10 minutes, you need to be back in 10 minutes. You don't come back in 15 minutes and don't give an apology or an explanation as to why you were 5 minutes late. That's what that means in follow through. Have a positive attitude no matter what is going on. It is positive. You are not to take it personal. Okay, even though it may feel personal, you're not supposed to take it personal. Have local knowledge, know what's going on in your area, know where things are, so that you would be able to direct people and to give them instructions and directions on the outside in the area, but also within the facility as well, because different conferences and different things, affairs can be going on, and it's your responsibility to know what they are and where they are. Okay, and be a critical thinker. If someone comes to you with a problem, you have to be able to resolve it very quickly. And if you don't, then you need to know who the right person is. Not that you have to go to four different people to finally get to the person that will be able to help you, but that first person that you go to is the first person that will have the information and have the empowerment to be able to resolve whatever the issue is. So it's about skills. So a skill is defined as being able to do something well, and almost on a level of expertise, that you're really, really good at it, that you even can master it. You are on a mastery level. If you've been doing something in the same industry for 10 years, you're considered a master. So, what is skills? So, we're talking about skills. So, skills are trainings and learning. So that means that if you attend a session, if you're taught something, right, something different, that you have the ability to learn it. And that also that you have some knowledge of whatever it is that you are being taught. Okay, that there is some foundational information that you have. Okay, something can even be similar. Okay, it could be a transferable skill, it could be something similar, but that you have knowledge of it. so that you understand what your core responsibilities are. What is it that you're supposed to do? How are you supposed to do it? How quickly are you supposed to do it? What are the measurements for whatever this is that you're supposed to do? So understand what your job is. Okay. So now you know what your job is. You've been trained, you have some information. Okay. So now you have to be able to apply what you have learned, apply the skills, okay, that have just been given to you. That is what a skill is, that you're able to see something, touch something, look at it, hear it, okay, be able to put it together, know how it works, and then go ahead and do it. And what is your experience? Well, the more you do something, the more experienced you are. And look, I want to be really clear. With experience, there are some mistakes that you're making, right? But you're supposed to learn from the mistakes, and then that becomes your experience on what is the right way to do something. And then when you put all of these together, there should be some growth. You should expand, you should be promoted, and you should be able to build upon the principles, build upon the information that you have. It's almost like bricklaying, okay? So, from the moment that the guest arrives, what kind of service is being provided by you, to the point of the departure of the guest, what kind of service is being provided by you. So, when if they're ready to check out, are you on time? Are you there at their room to go and retrieve their luggage? Because people have cars waiting, right? They have planes to catch, trains to catch. Are you on time so that they can be where they need to be? Okay. Are you alert and are you ready to help? Do you see that they are rushing? Then that means that you're supposed to rush. If they have time and they're at leisure and it's okay for you to take your time, then you can take your time. You have to match the energy of that guest. Double check to make sure that nothing is left. So that means that you're the last one to leave the room and not the guest. You're the last one to leave the room and not the guest, because you're going into the room to make sure that there has been nothing left by that guest. No bags, no luggage, no jewelry, no nothing. You're supposed to do a check, okay, to make sure that everything is done. The bathroom, the dresser drawers, the closet, even under the bed, everywhere. Okay, take a check. The desk, okay, the windowsill, take a check to make sure that nothing has been left. Okay, and when you are putting them in the car, are you giving them a warm send off? You are the final contact, the last thing that they're going to remember. So all of these things that we have talked about in this video, it adds up to success. So success is defined as accomplishing a set goal, aim, or purpose, the state of or condition of meeting a defined range of expectations. Did you meet the expectations of your guests? Did you achieve the mission of your hotel? That is the question. How would you know? Well, a happy guest is how you know. Because if you have happy guests, then that's loyalty, that's good marks, that's good reviews. People have good things to say to you. People will be back. People will tell their friends, go to that hotel. Okay. And if you were one of the people that made them feel warm and wonderful and made their experience a really good one, they're even going to tell them about you, even by name. So this is the end of this session here. And I hope that this was helpful. And I hope that everything that we talked here will be useful to you as well. This is Miss J. Be well.